On February 9, 2004, a young college student named Maura Murray experienced a car crash on a desolate, isolated road in the woods of New Hampshire. A passerby, who happened to be driving by, witnessed the wreck and immediately stopped to offer help. However, by the time emergency responders and law enforcement arrived on the scene, Maura was gone, vanished without a trace. The only thing left behind was the wrecked car, sitting alone in the cold winter night. What could have possibly happened in that small window of time between the initial accident and the arrival of authorities? Why did Maura, a seemingly ordinary college student, disappear under such strange and troubling circumstances? And more importantly, why does this case continue to puzzle and haunt us even after over 2 decades have passed? In this video, we're going to revisit the strange details surrounding Maura's disappearance, diving deeper than ever before into the mystery. We'll question the official story and explore new revelations that have come to light in recent years, details that challenge everything we thought we knew. With fresh insights and a closer examination of the overlooked evidence, we'll uncover truths that may be far darker and more disturbing than anyone ever imagined. Hold on tight, because as we dig deeper into this case, we might just be closer to the truth than we've ever been before. You won't want to miss a moment of what's coming up next. The accident and the strange inconsistencies. The widely accepted version of Maura Murray's story has been repeated countless times. She crashed her car, got out, and then simply vanished. It sounds straightforward, doesn't it? But what if this version leaves out vital pieces of the puzzle? What if critical details have been overlooked or dismissed? Could there be more to the story than meets the eye? Let's take a closer look at the events surrounding that fateful night. One of the first people to arrive at the scene was Butch Atwood, a local bus driver who happened to be driving by. He quickly stopped to assist and had a brief interaction with Maura. His description of her was particularly troubling. Atwood mentioned that Maura appeared visibly nervous but, surprisingly, was unharmed. Now, this is where things get odd. Maura's car had crashed into a tree with significant force, leaving the vehicle badly damaged. Based on the severity of the crash, Maura should have at least suffered some sort of injury, whether it was cuts, bruises, or whiplash. But she didn't appear to have any. So, why was she seemingly untouched by the impact? Then we have another witness, Faith Westman, a neighbor who was driving by and noticed a figure inside Maura's car after the accident. Here's where the story takes another bizarre turn. Faith described the figure inside the vehicle, but her description didn't quite match Maura. Could there have been someone else inside the car with her? Could this person have been another witness to the crash? Or could they have played a role in what happened afterward? Now, here's where things get even more troubling. Despite these inconsistencies, the police never seriously explored the possibility that Maura wasn't alone when the crash occurred. Why didn't they consider that another person might have been with her? Was there someone else involved in the incident? If so, what happened to them? What role might this unknown person have played in her disappearance? At this point, we must ask ourselves, why would Maura leave the relative safety of her vehicle in such treacherous conditions? It was freezing cold, and there was no sign of immediate help nearby. Did she leave because she felt threatened? Was she running from something or someone? Could there have been another person waiting for her nearby? Or worse, was she lured into something more sinister? And here's the most pressing question. Were the authorities thorough enough in their investigation? Did they dig deep enough into these discrepancies and explore every possible avenue? Or did they prematurely rule out certain theories? Did they overlook crucial leads, dismissing them as irrelevant too soon? The answers to these questions could be the key to unlocking this mystery and understanding what really happened to Maura Murray. Investigators have uncovered a disturbing connection between Maura's disappearance and a local individual with a violent past. This individual had a known history of aggression towards women, and what's even more disturbing is that they lived just a few miles away from the crash site. Could this person have been involved in Maura's disappearance? Was Maura targeted by this individual, and if so, how did it all play out in the moments after the crash? To make this lead even more terrifying, a witness has come forward with a startling account. This witness claims to have seen a car that matched the description of the suspect's vehicle near the area where Maura was last seen. This sighting is a crucial piece of evidence that could provide a link between the suspect and the crash site. The proximity of this suspect's home to the crash site only adds to the suspicion that they could be involved in some way. And just when we thought the mystery couldn't get any darker, another unsettling detail has surfaced. Another witness, who came forward years later, claims to have seen a woman running through the snow, not far from the crash site. This witness saw the woman moving quickly, appearing distressed or in a hurry. But here's the troubling part: investigators did not immediately pursue this lead. Why? Why was this critical information seemingly ignored or dismissed without a full investigation? Could this witness's account have been the breakthrough the case needed, or did it get lost in the shuffle of other theories? The fact that law enforcement failed to seriously follow up on this crucial lead raises significant concerns. What if this woman was Maura, running in a desperate attempt to escape from someone or something? What if this is a key piece of the puzzle that could explain what happened to her? The implications of this sighting, and the authorities' apparent lack of urgency in pursuing it, could change everything we know about Maura's fate. As we dig deeper into these newly uncovered details, it becomes painfully clear that the mystery of Maura Murray's disappearance is far from being solved. If anything, the more we uncover, the more questions arise. Was Maura alone when she vanished? Did she fall victim to a predator with a violent history, or was her disappearance the result of something even more sinister? And why haven't authorities explored these new leads more thoroughly? With each passing year, the case grows colder, but with these revelations, it's possible that the truth is closer than we think. Are we on the verge of uncovering the real story behind Maura Murray's disappearance, or is there still much more to uncover? We'll continue to follow the trail and bring you the latest updates as we attempt to solve this haunting mystery. The theory no one has considered and Maura's fate. For years, the dominant theory about Maura Murray's disappearance has been the simplest one: she vanished voluntarily. Many have suggested that Maura ran away from her life, perhaps overwhelmed by personal struggles or seeking to escape the pressures of her college life. But what if this theory is far too straightforward? What if the truth is far more complex, and even more chilling? Let's take a closer look at some of the details that have been largely overlooked in this case. One particularly interesting point that's raised serious questions is Maura's search for motels in a nearby town just before she disappeared. Her family has consistently denied any claims that Maura was planning to leave her life behind, stating that she had no intentions of running away. Yet, the fact remains: why would she be searching for a place to stay in a town she had no apparent ties to? Could this be a sign that Maura was trying to escape something? Or perhaps someone? Was she fleeing from a specific threat she couldn't face on her own? Here's where things start to take a dark turn. Could Maura's disappearance have been the result of someone chasing her, rather than her simply choosing to leave? What if Maura wasn't trying to escape her life but was, instead, running for her life? Was there a dangerous person after her, someone who posed a real threat? What if she had been trying to flee from a predator, and this is the tragic and terrifying reason why she disappeared? Now, things get even more sinister. Shortly after Maura was last seen, a mysterious vehicle was reported near the crash site. The details surrounding this car are unnerving, as we still don't know who was driving it, and more importantly, why they were there. Despite this key lead, law enforcement has yet to release any information about the identity of the driver, including a composite sketch, which could have helped authorities track down this crucial piece of the puzzle. Could this mysterious driver be the one responsible for what happened to Maura? Could they have been involved in some way, or were they simply a witness to something far more sinister? The lack of transparency surrounding this vehicle and its driver raises serious concerns about the direction of the investigation. Here's a theory that's darker still. What if the person in that car knew more than they've let on? What if they had a connection to Maura, or were involved in her disappearance? Could they have been following her, or perhaps even had a direct role in what happened? The authorities have never fully explored this possibility, leaving an open door for this individual to remain a shadowy figure in this already mysterious case. The public deserves answers, and yet, so much about this critical lead has remained hidden for years. Now, we move on to a chilling discovery that adds another layer of horror to this case. In 2020, an excavation on private property uncovered human remains. This find could be a breakthrough, but the authorities have yet to confirm whether these remains belong to Maura Murray, or whether they are linked to another unsolved disappearance. The possibility that these remains could be connected to Maura adds a haunting dimension to the case. Could this be the long-awaited clue that will finally help investigators solve this cold case? Or could it be tied to another victim entirely, leaving us with more questions than answers? The discovery of human remains in such a close context to Maura's disappearance forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew. Was Maura the victim of something far more sinister than a simple disappearance? Could she have been targeted by someone who knew exactly what they were doing? Or was she just one in a series of tragedies that remained unnoticed for far too long? And now, we must ask, what happens if these remains are confirmed to be Maura's? How does this revelation change the entire narrative of her disappearance? Would it mean that Maura was not just running away, but that she was fleeing a dangerous individual or situation? What did she know that led her to make those frantic decisions that night? And how will this discovery affect the course of the investigation going forward? As we uncover more details and connect the dots, it becomes clear that there's so much more to this case than what the public has been led to believe. Maura's story is not just one of a college student who disappeared. It's a complex web of confusion, hidden motives, and dark secrets. Each new piece of evidence raises more questions, and with each passing year, it seems like we're closer to unmasking the true events behind Maura Murray's fate. But is it too late? Will we ever know what really happened that night? In the meantime, we're left with one glaring question. What if we've all been looking at this case from the wrong angle? What if the truth is far darker and more twisted than we could ever imagine? Keep following along, because this case is far from over, and we might just be on the brink of uncovering the shocking truth behind Maura Murray's disappearance. We'll continue to keep you updated as more information becomes available, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more revelations. Maura Murray's disappearance remains one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in recent history. While we still don't have definitive answers, the details we've uncovered tonight raise more questions than ever before. Someone, somewhere, knows something. And the truth might be closer than we think. So, what do you think happened to Maura? Was there more to the story than we've been told? Do you believe law enforcement has missed something critical along the way? We want to hear from you. Leave your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you're as fascinated by this case as we are and want to stay up to date with all the latest developments, make sure to subscribe to the Nightmare Archive. We dive deep into the most chilling mysteries, bringing you new insights with every video. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. We're getting closer to the truth, and we need your help to uncover it.